At the beginning of the movie, a young woman wakes up in a strange room with several people standing in a circle. She calls out, but everyone else seems to be in some sort of slumber. The woman tries a few things. She tries to move back and forth and even reaches out to touch the soldier next to her. However, every time she steps outside the red circle under her feet, there is a sharp buzzer sound. Suddenly, a man on the other side of the room tells her to stop moving. He indicates that someone is watching all of them closely, but no further information is given. Soon another woman wakes up and immediately starts thrashing around the room in a panic. A man tries to calm her down, but she is so tense that she withdraws from her circle. A few seconds later, a beam of electricity shoots out from the center of the circle, killing her on the spot. At that moment, the lights come on and everyone in the room wakes up. We see that there are about 50 people in this strange room. They are arranged in 2 concentric circles. While the others panic, a young Asian man figures out that he can control the lights on the floor. There are several arrows on the floor, one for each person in the room. The Asian man closes his right fist, which causes the light to stop in front of the woman. A few seconds later, an electric current from the center dome strikes her to death. Realizing what has happened, he tells everyone about it. People soon realize that they only see the light they can control. Meanwhile, a pregnant woman in the front row makes another discovery. She realizes that the buzzer goes off every time they close their fists about 2 minutes apart. Then electricity hits one of the participants. She yells that they are actually voting, choosing who will die by simply closing their hands. The pregnant woman also notices that voting for the already dead or not voting at all doesn't work. In those cases, the central dome just kills someone randomly. Suddenly, a young guy in a plaid jacket asks everyone to keep quiet. He suggests strategizing to figure out what's going on and try to stop it. His plan is pretty brutal. He suggests killing the older people first so that he can get at least 2 minutes between each kill to try to make sense of the situation. After a few minutes, the first old man, who is 82 years old, is electrocuted to death. Everyone is horrified but quickly moves on, discussing next steps. They ask the soldier if he knows what's going on. Could it be an alien invasion? However, he is just as confused as the others. Then the young guy in the black shirt recounts what he remembers before he woke up in this room. He recalls being stuck in traffic and then fleeing Los Angeles before everything went dark. The conversation is interrupted as the beeping begins again. As previously stated, they vote and kill the second oldest man. Afterward, the third oldest man, next in line, claims to remember something. He may have seen the aliens, heard them speak, and even knows what they look like. Several people think he's lying to save himself. He says confusingly they had green weenies. I mean green noses. Sausages for noses. Just kill me. A few seconds later, he is indeed killed by the discharge. Despite everything, the elderly men are killed one by one, but they never manage to get any significant information. Then the Asian guy asks who will be next, and everyone looks at the woman in the hat, asking her age. She replies that she is 52 and tells them that she recently beat breast cancer. The guy in the plaid jacket offers to make her the next victim, but the black woman who works as a doctor is adamantly opposed. The guy in the jacket insists that everyone over 50 should be excluded, but most disagree. He continues to argue, annoying the others, and eventually they vote against him, killing him. After a brief pause, a female cancer survivor offers to find out exactly why they were chosen. Most people don't want to say anything, but one man in the back row volunteers his name, Craig. Others immediately remind him not to reveal personal information. He points to the woman to his left, saying she's his wife, and begs the group not to kill her. The guy then asks if anyone else knows each other. The middle-aged man replies that he knows the female doctor, but both refuse to say exactly how they are related. Another alarm sounds and another man is accidentally killed. The group then turns to a Hispanic man, but he speaks no English at all. The woman behind him offers to translate, starts a conversation, and soon learns that the man is from Mexico and has 3 daughters. This prompts the man in the red tie, who turns out to be a lawyer, to talk about illegal immigration, citing the relentless pressure. The lawyer asks the Hispanic man if he is legally in the United States. The man replies that he is not, but that doesn't seem to change the other's point of view, especially the lawyer. Suddenly the buzzer sounds, but instead of the Latino, a young girl from the front row gets hit. This moment shocks some of the participants. Shortly afterward, a police officer notices a tattooed man named Raul and accuses him of beating his girlfriend. Raul calmly states that she got what she deserved. A few minutes later, a blonde woman from the front row offers to figure out who is good and who is bad. One of the men disagrees, believing that their captor just wants to watch people kill each other for fun. However, the blonde-haired man supports the woman, stating that they do decide who deserves to live. Upon hearing this, the young man brings up the topic of race. Some white participants argue that the race issue is irrelevant, but he continues to argue. Other African Americans warn him not to touch the topic for fear of repercussions. Soon a heated argument breaks out and a police officer interjects with blatantly racist remarks. Everyone is rendered speechless by his behavior. When the alarm sounds again, the policeman is electrocuted. After this tense moment, the soldier says that they should not turn on each other, but rather try to understand what is going on. The next signal is given and a pregnant woman and a man are picked out. A golden light falls on them. Everyone votes again. Soon the guy in the black shirt and the soldier decide that they must protect the pregnant woman and the baby. However, things take an unexpected turn. In the next round, both the pregnant woman and the baby vote against one of them. Suddenly, the man behind raises both hands and yells that they must both die, breaking the round rule. He ends up being blocked. Seeing the senseless deaths all around, several people voluntarily leave the circle. An elderly gentleman leaves first, followed by a teenager who feels guilty for participating in the death vote. Everyone expects the soldier to volunteer next, but he refuses. He just got back from Afghanistan and wants to get back to his family. Time passes and eventually a woman from the back rows comes out herself, admitting that she recently lost her young son. Suddenly a man in a suit asks the blonde woman next to him if she's a porn star. She replies no, but he continues to press on, asking about her life. Next round of voting and everyone picks him. We've all seen her videos. Relax, someone throws in. The blonde girl cries. A middle-aged man with glasses offers to consider who has kids. Craig says he and his wife have a daughter. The bespectacled man argues that those who don't have children should sacrifice themselves. Things heat up when the lawyer asks a woman in the back rows if she has a husband and children. He had previously expressed conservative views about a Hispanic man and now seems to be targeting her because she has short hair and dresses like a man. The woman doesn't back down and states that she is a lesbian and has a wife. This angers the lawyer even more, but he doesn't notice that the next round of voting has begun. He ends up getting electrocuted to death. After another tense debate, the buzzer sounds again. This time a female doctor and a black man she knows are chosen. They decide to die with dignity and leave their circles together. The number of participants rapidly dwindles. The conversation turns to work and contributions to society. While the participants are engrossed in the debate, an Asian man dies unexpectedly. In the next round of voting, the interpreter is cut off. The majority decides that a Hispanic man should be next, since he doesn't even speak English. However, the black-shirted man points out a pattern in their recent voting. He says people who would never vote for a guy or a pregnant girl are quickly passing away. Now that the sides are up, they're starting to count each other to see where they stand, who will vote for girls and who won't in the next round of voting. A young guy and a Hispanic man are chosen, but the latter quickly sacrifices himself. The man with glasses starts feuding with everyone again and goes over to the side that wants to kill the pregnant woman and girl. He and the blonde guy convince the couple and the black man to join their side. However, when the man with glasses is chosen in the next round, the majority vote against him. The group falls into a chaos of arguing, but the squeakers don't care. They're ready to keep playing. They quickly pick the guy with the amputated arm and buy some more time for themselves. This also creates a new balance of power. The group that wants to end the pregnant woman and child now has a majority. It turns out that a black man has chosen their side and wants to vote out the baby in the next round. However, the soldier, being the de facto leader of the other group, tries to save the baby. He says they should vote for the wife to see if the husband will sacrifice himself for her. The couple has remained neutral so far, and the soldier begins to press them. He interrogates Craig, saying that if he doesn't sacrifice himself, his wife could die in the next round. The voting begins. At the last second, Craig relents and agrees to help the soldier, whereupon they change their votes and kill the black man. After his death, the blonde man is angry with Craig and asks if he and his wife are married. The group joins in the interrogation too, and the lesbian asks the wife what her husband's name is. But she can't remember, even though he's said it before. A furious Craig finally admits that they are not married and tries to blame it on the woman. However, he is killed when the next round of voting ends. 2 minutes later, a new vote begins. The blonde guy ends up with 5 votes. A blonde guy, a soldier, a cancer woman, a blonde woman, and a lesbian, the sort of superhero squad that would have a hard time defeating Thanos. Thanos is quickly outvoted, and everyone but the blonde man is electrocuted to death. Now 2 clear leaders remain. The blonde guy who thinks we should kill the pregnant woman and child, and the guy in the black shirt who wants to save them. The voting begins again, and everyone votes except the middle-aged, pot-bellied man. The man in the black shirt notices that the older man didn't vote throughout the whole ordeal, but managed to survive. He then manipulates the blonde-haired guy into thinking that everyone will vote for the pot-bellied man. However, without knowing it, the guy in the black shirt and the pregnant girl make an unspoken agreement and kill the blonde guy as a sign of heroism. The pot-bellied gentleman still refrains from voting. After that, only the man in the black shirt and the 2 girls remain. The man suggests that perhaps the aliens are conducting an experiment to understand humanity, how people evaluate each other and what is important to them. He is ready to die next, but reminds the girls that one of them must decide who stays alive. Despite her fear, the guy in the black shirt offers to let one of them go with him and asks the child to wait until the buzzer sounds. However, the moment the child steps out of his lap, the guy in the black shirt votes for the pregnant woman. She and the baby fall, and it becomes clear that the guy in the black shirt has successfully manipulated them. However, nothing happens. The man is still locked in the room, which further confuses him. Suddenly, the beeping sounds again, making him think that the aliens are going to kill him. But the sound soon stops, and then he realizes that there is someone else in the room, an unborn baby. Now he must choose between the baby, which is in the woman's belly, and himself. The scene changes dramatically. We see a black guy waking up on a street in Los Angeles. He gets to his feet, looks up, and sees several alien ships in the sky. He then joins a group of similar survivors who are standing around looking at the spaceships. It seems the aliens want only the most sophisticated sociopaths as their competition.